What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 5, the last round before we cut to top 4 for the Portland Monthly Premodern Magic Afternoons August 2024 tournament. A couple of brand new decks we haven't shown on camera yet, so without further ado, let's get into the list. First up, we have a Caustic on white-green Lifegain Combo. Now this is splashing for a few other colors, but the base is white-green, and the combo, if you're not familiar, is Infinite Life. There are a few ways to accomplish this, primarily with either a Nomad's En-Kor or a Shaman En-Kor, and either a Daru Spiritualist or a task force on the battlefield. With those zero cost targeting abilities, you're able to target the Spiritualist or the task force, make their toughness basically infinitely large, and then sack it to either a worthy cause or a Starlit Sanctum to gain infinite life. Then he just has to wait for his guy's blessing to basically let your opponent deck themselves. There are a few other ways to win as well. There is a Survival of Fittest and Living Wish package in this deck, so we do have Squee. We have Unspeakable Symbol, which is a bit of a black splash, which lets you use all that infinite life to make a creature infinitely large with +1/+1 counters. There's also a Test of Endurance, which basically just lets you win the game if you have 50 or more life at the beginning of your upkeep. There's a Sarah Avatar, which there's also a Sarah Avatar as a beat stick, an Academy Rector to go find some of these enchantments, and as I mentioned, the Guy's Blessing. Overall, it's a really sweet list and not one that I've actually seen before. I know Caustic made some tweaks to it, so I'm very curious as to what those were. I can't wait to see how it plays. Next up is me on Sui Black. So I didn't know this at the time, but we were actually playing for the top 4 this match, which is pretty sweet. This deck is something that I basically copied card for card off of the main Premodern Discord in the Sui Black channel. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly who it was that I borrowed this list from. I think I tweaked the sideboard a little bit, but it was 11 o'clock before the tournament the night before, and I just kind of slapped this together, and it obviously did pretty well. Some unique things here are the 3x of Mesmeric Fiends to help with the Duress and Cabal Therapy and Disruption package. Wretched Anurid, which is a really efficiently costed 2-drop 3/3, assuming you don't run into creature heavy matchups like elves or goblins, which I don't think I did, so that definitely was a little lucky. The Drinkers of Sorrow without a green splash for Rancor was kind of interesting, but did end up being pretty relevant considering I could always sack the Sarcomancies or some of the lower cost creatures if I was swinging in, but usually you were swinging in for the win. And then of course the Power Matrix, which actually won me a few games. I might even go up to 2 next time I put this list together, and the 2 Reanimates, which I don't think I ever actually got to cast, but seemed like pretty sweet tech. Other than that, the sideboard's pretty standard, very fun list. I'd recommend it if you're looking to try a Sui list and it's been a minute. But without further ado, let's get into the games. And here we go. Caustic is on the left, I am on the right. So we're gonna get a little roll off here to decide who goes first. Now this will be an interesting game. I don't have any idea what he's playing at this point. He also likes to play a lot of mono black decks, so that may factor into what I end up keeping, but on the blind, I think I still want to keep a pretty aggressive hand. A lot of my hand disruption actually doesn't interact with him that much either. I would need a Mesmeric Fiend or blind naming a Cabal. The Duress, which I do have in hand, is not going to do much. It looks like we are just kicking off. City Brass and Birds of Paradise. And am I dressing here? No, in fact, I'm going to Funeral Charm, get rid of the bird. Makes sense. Got to kill the Mana Dork. And just Plains for Caustic. Tap into and playing out the En-Kor. Now I do have a Clerics deck that I have not played in. Oh, actually I don't know if I've ever played it. I built it. Anyways, I'm vaguely familiar with the Clerics combo, but I'm probably going to need to reread some of these cards as we go through. But let's dress here and see what Caustic is working with. And right off the bat, I can see he's got the combo for infinite life. He has the Cleric that the Spiritualist can target, and he has the Sanctum that will let him gain infinite life. Now, he doesn't have a payoff other than that I know of, but my deck cannot win against an infinite amount of life. I later learned that he played against Marshall, who we did see on camera against the Stasis deck, I think, last round, maybe the round before that. And Marshall was actually able to make infinite squirrels to take care of his infinite life, which was something I wish we had caught on camera. All right, so I'm just gonna play a Sarcomancy and pass. I have to imagine the Starlight Sanctum's coming down. Yes, okay. And it's going to play out the other piece of the combo. So right now he can make an infinitely large blocker, but that's all that can happen. Next turn he makes infinite life. So I don't know. I'd basically have to kill something. Okay, I can, yeah, try this, but no, he can just make it infinitely large. And yes, yeah, that was my only real out. I have nothing in hand. I can swing in. He can just block, make it infinitely large. Yeah, which it will stick around because yeah. And there's nothing else I can do in hand. I'm just gonna untap, let him demonstrate the combo. So same thing as he was doing before. Just keep targeting him, make his toughness infinitely large, sack it to the Starlight Sanctum, get a bunch of life, and I'm gonna concede. Okay, well that was a very quick game one. But if you don't know your opponent's playing combo and they kind of just have the nuts, there's only so much you can do. Now, I believe I brought in a lot more removal and engineered plagues, specifically for clerics. Although that doesn't hit all of his combo pieces, and I need multiple to kill some of the clerics, but it's something. Okay, we're going to start off with a Cabal Therapy. I forget what I blind name here. I just remember I don't hit it. I think I named the cleric that can be, that starts the target, not the En-Kor. Yeah, I'm trying to describe it here. But we'll see. I distinctly remember I did not actually hit it. And Cosmic wanting a very intentional description of it, because you just have to describe the card, you don't have to name it, thank God. But yeah, I don't have it. Or he doesn't have it, I should say. We do see a lot of good stuff though. He doesn't have the combo yet. He has two pieces. He's gonna fetch and play out a Mom, which is pretty good, makes it pretty hard to interact. Do I have an answer to the Mom? I do have a removal spell. I think I have to burn it. Yeah. It doesn't feel great, but I need to clear the way so that if I do draw more removal, I can actually take care of the combo pieces. Also, unfortunately, the mono black deck doesn't run land destruction. There's no wastelands or even Rashad and ports, so that's a little unfortunate, but it is what you kind of give up to be able to drop a negator on turn 2. Alright, we're going to Living Wish here. And are we grabbing the Shaman En-Kor? No, we are grabbing the Nomad's En-Kor. Okay. Alright, 3 lands. There's an E-Plague. E-Plague is probably on Cleric. I think I do get a scrap of paper at some point. Granted, there's only one Cleric that actively kills, and that's the Daru Spiritualist, which he does have in his hand. I can see that he does. Now, I don't know what creature type the Task Force is. It is a Rebel, but I don't know if it's a Rebel Soldier. I think at some point in this match we actually do Scryfall the creature types. Okay, so yes, I did put Cleric. We are playing out a Rebel, which may or may not be a Soldier. Now, interestingly, this can't get sacked to the Starlight Sanctum. I'm pretty sure it's just Clerics only, and I'm pretty sure that's not a Rebel Cleric. And I have another E-Plague. I also have a removal spell, which I guess I'm going to burn now. I noticed I drew a reanimate. All right, we're gonna say no more combo piece. Oh, and if I had said spiritualist, that would have been way better. Yeah, the second one in hand. Oh well. So my Cabal therapies not being as effective as they could be. There's a City Brass. So are we gonna see the Academy Rector? Yes. Now this can definitely grab him some threats. Unspeakable Symbol to make stuff infinitely large. Test of Endurance to win the game if he manages to combo out before it dies, or a Survival of the Fittest, which I've actually not seen from his deck yet, so I don't even know this package is in here. Haven't seen any other creatures that would suggest it either. And I'm just going to say go. I do have another E-Plague in hand. Do I have interaction? One thing I could do, I do have that reanimate. I could reanimate one of his creatures, sack it to a Cabal Therapy, and get rid of 2 more Spiritualists. Doesn't fully get rid of all the combo pieces by any means, but would help. Yeah, why? I am confused as to why I passed. I think I maybe am bluffing some kind of removal. Now, he can just play out the Task Force. And one thing I'm actually wondering is... Yeah, the Academy Rector is a cleric, right? Okay, now we're just gonna play out the Task Force. So yeah, the reason why it's important is that it can get sacked to the Starlight Sanctum. And could potentially start a combo path for him. Now, notably, I don't really have a easy way to kill the Rector without it triggering. But he did leave the mana open to do so. Oh, I have a Funeral Charm up? Is that really what I left? Alright, so Funeral Charming the Rector, which is not great. I should have probably realized that he was a cleric, or they were a cleric, and could get sacked to the Sanctum, and that was probably going to happen on my end step anyways. But now I get to see a little bit more about what this deck is doing. Like, why there's a Rector in here. And I have to imagine he's just grabbing the Survival. Doing a little calculus in the brain. Trying to decide if you can do something with 2 mana. Doesn't have a green open, so he can't activate Survival this turn, but he does have it pulled to the front right now. He's also looking at Unspeakable Symbol, which could be a threat. He can spend some life, get it infinitely large, or not infinitely large, but a fairly large Task Force. Alright, looks like Survival is the play. That's a land, and I think I need to get creatures out of his hand. So I'm looking through the graveyard. One thing I didn't realize, I think at this point, is that Academy Rector exiled when it went off. I haven't played with the card a lot, or seen the card played against me all that much either, so I was hoping I could use it and get another E-Plague, but alas, exiles. And I think even if it did, it would still hit my opponent's graveyard and they get the trigger. So either way, it doesn't help. But I am eyeing that reanimate, and I think that's what's going to happen. I need to get creatures out of his hand so he can't activate survival. I'm going to bring back the En-Kor. Flashback the Cabal Pit, our Cabal Therapy, which does get exiled. Hopefully I catch that soon. And then I am going to play my second Engineered Plague. And I think I'm putting it on soldiers. Or at least asking what that creature type is, but I'm pretty sure I'm putting it on soldiers. Yeah. Okay. I was pretty much dead if I didn't do that, because next turn he just tutors up the combo piece he needs. And here's where I noticed that I should have actually exiled the Cabal Therapy, so all you guys typing away furiously on the YouTube comments, chill. I noticed. I caught it. Okay, so we are looking up creature types right now. Writing them down for both of our reference because Engineered Plague is going to be relevant. There is still 2 more in the deck. And I actually wonder if Caustic brought in naturalizes to deal with Engineered Plagues. I imagine he would, because that's kind of my best way to deal with some of the combo pieces. Yeah, so the Nomads and Core are also soldiers, which is great because that way I kill at least 2 of the combo pieces due to state-based actions thanks to Engineered Plague. So it does limit what he actually has available, but he does still have a creature and is going to start swinging in. But I have bought myself a little bit of time. All right, there's a Wretched Anurid. Now we have a clock. Cosmic gonna fetch here. Another Plains. I think maybe just wanting to get a chance to shuffle the deck a little bit. Getting a little flooded, it looks like. So probably wants to see if he can shuffle up that patch of lands and find some action. Remembering to take a damage for the fetch. There you go. And it's interesting to play against the black deck because discard is always a possibility. He saw I do have Funeral Charms. And nope, we're just going to get aggressive. Swinging in for 3. Say go. It looks like he does actually have some action. He drew a creature. We're going to pitch the En-Kor that would die to the Engineered Plague to go find something that can stick around. Now, he can get 2 pieces of the combo here with the Shaman En-Kor and the Task Force, but because the Starlight Sanctum only lets you sack clerics, the Task Force can't get sacrificed. Okay, we're going to get Squee here for some added value and some hand protection against a Funeral Charm. And what are we getting for our actual threat here? We're getting birds. Interesting choice. I think maybe just because he's running out of colored mana options. I do take a point to the bird coming in. And say go. And I'm actually just gonna kill a Taskmaster. Okay. I'm now gonna look at Starlight Sanctum. Because I don't think he could do that. Yeah, it has to be a cleric. Alright, we got another Wretched Anurid. We really got a clock cooking now, guys. Are we activating survival here? Looks like yes. Yeah, I just double checked task force. It's a human rebel. So, not able to sack it to the Sanctum. There are definitely a lot of combo pieces in this deck of Caustics, but they do have to interact in very specific ways, which can always not quite line up. Or can sometimes, I should say, not always line up. Game 1 was a pretty great indicator of how quick the deck can win. Alright, there's an Elvish Piper. I'm still curious as to the purpose of the Piper. Is it just to get the Sarah, or whatever it is, the giant flyer, the Sarah avatar in? I mean, it is a 7-drop. That was also something you brought in from the wish board. I guess it would be. I mean, he can almost hardcast it now. Just needs one more land for the Sarah avatar. That would be quite a problem for me. I'd have to... Gosh, I'd have to get rid of all of his other creatures to then find an edict effect to take care of it. I don't really have a good answer to it. Okay, there's the Piper. Say go. Take 2 points. Drop to 15. Move to combat, swing for 6. No trample. Do you want to take 6? Interesting, okay. There's a little zombie. Say go. Now the decision is, do you take a point off the city to go find a creature? You definitely need another blocker, minimum. But if you go get the Sarah, you need to play out 2 blockers because you have to tap down the Elvish Piper. So yeah, you just need bodies on the ground. There's not too much in the deck that can actually stop my Wretched Anurids. Obviously the Sarah avatar would, but that's only 1 creature. I think Caustic's maybe weighing just scooping this one to hide the big threat and try again in game number 3. This has been definitely a weird game number 2. All right, we're gonna pitch birds. Oh, I think he also might have forgotten about Sui in the graveyard, which might be a huge mistake because he could have used that birds as a blocker. Okay, what creature gets you out of this? On my end step. What are you playing? Alright, there's a Sarah Avatar. Okay, so he is going for it. Granted, it's only going to be a 3/3. And we'll go to his turn. So he's got to draw a creature. Making sure to not forget the Sui this time. I think forgetting that Sui trigger may have cost him the game. Again, guys, if you missed the part in the deck where I discussed it, at the time we didn't know, but we were playing for a place in the top 4 here. Whoever wins this goes on. All right, we're gonna Sui here. Grabbing what? All right, grabbing a Taskmaster. Tap 3 for the Taskmaster. Take 2 points off of my Anurids. Those Anurids have done more to me than anything else this turn. And just say go. And is that a removal spell? If it's a removal spell, I win. Thinking through, we knew he's got the Sarah Avatar in hand that the Elvish Piper can just bring out. It's another Engineered Plague. And what am I naming? I better not name Elf. I have to name either Bird or Rebel. And Caustic has to respond to this now before I name the card. So yeah, I'm putting the pen down. What are you gonna name? It's gonna take a point. Tap that guy, so I think I named Bird, right? That too. I take 2. Put a 9. And is the bird the word? The bird is indeed the word. That's what I name. That'll die. Swing for lethal. GG. All right, we are going to game number 3. Okay, well that was a real nail biter for sure. Granted, that Sarah Avatar was only a 1/1, but if he was able to combo out, that could have been the end as we know it. I did not feel fine about that. So here we are in game number 3. Both players have a bit better idea of what the other one's on. I mean, Caustic plays enough Sui Black decks that he knows exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually going to be shipping that back. I don't think I had enough lands to justify what I had going on in hand, but I think Caustic is keeping a 7. I'm on the play though, so not the biggest deal. Mostly just looking for some kind of disruption. And I don't think I drew any lands. No, I drew a City of Traders with all black cards. So, putting 2 back. Not like this. Sui Black can still mulligan pretty well, I feel like, but I need to have the exact mix of disruption and threats to get across the finish line before Cossac's able to stabilize. And with the amount of tutoring and just duplicate threats for his combo pieces that he has, this could be a little tricky. Okay. Is this a keepable 5? I see lands, I see spells. I think I have to keep it. Alright, we're putting a reanimate and a swamp back. We'll see if that was the right call. I'm not actually sure how many lands I had in hand there, but I'm assuming at least 3. Alright, Nomad hit in the field. Land, go. Forest hit in the field. Alright, well, that's 2 pieces of the combo. Let's play a Mesmeric Fiend and hope I can snag the other one. Alright, no payoff. I think I gotta grab the Naturalize. It just goes under the, yeah. You kill the Fiend, you get the Naturalize. To me, that says I have E-Plague in hand, probably. Alright, interesting. Go into combat here. Feeling safe being able to swing in, not wanting to play out the En-Kor to potentially make one of those guys infinitely large. Or infinitely tough, not large. And there's a Drinker of Sorrow. Can't block. But it's a nice beat stick. Costa gonna fetch here. Drinker is not a card you want to see when you're behind. And the fact that I didn't play it on E-Plague here makes me pretty sure I don't have it. Alright, I'm just passing back. And the Costa is going to keep swinging in. And I'm seeing a lot of lands in my hand. Maybe too many. Far too many. I have 2 more lands and a Funeral Charm. Now, one thing I'm missing here actually is I could kill the En-Kor with that Funeral Charm, but it doesn't really matter because he has the backup Shaman En-Kor anyways. But it would save me a little bit of damage each turn, which may or may not be relevant. Yep, just taking it again. And this is definitely me rewatching and wishing the old cards had the updated creature types on them. That's the only downside. Actually, no. Just going off on a little soapbox here. Screw the errata. If it's not printed on the card what the creature type is, it's not that creature type. Makes it too hard to track with old cards, in my opinion. Alright, so there's a birds. I do another land. Oh, here we go. Mesmeric Fiend. Fling came in. Fling is scary. I'm going to grab Fling. I think it's really just for the Sarah Avatar plan. I was going to say go again. Again, being able to take care of the En-Kor. And Caustic with 2 of the combo pieces, just needing the 3rd to really shut things down. And I'll just take 1. Again, I should not be taking any of this. I should have killed the, the En-Kor, but that's just me revisiting this. If that is really a Funeral Charm, which I feel like it has to be. It looks like it's a Funeral Charm. And I can do nothing but draw lands otherwise. So, that's fun. You know, the classic mold of 5, draw all your lands in your deck. Peak magic right there. Totally not salty about it. It's okay though, this deck is sweet. I am glad to see that Caustic has been doing so well with this one. Alright, swinging in for a bunch. By a bunch I mean 2. Play out the backup. Is that another land? Oh my god. Pass. I'm gonna die to just pingers. Eventually I'm gonna have to block something. Alright, going to combat. And I'm just taking 3. So at this point, I feel like I would have saved 4, maybe 5 life if I had killed that En-Kor, but now there's another one, so it doesn't really matter. Well, there's a Sarcomancy. So at least that's a blocker. So I can start blocking some of the damage getting in. And I think, and a City of Traders, because of course I had to draw another land. I'm not sure why I didn't swing in with the Drowner of Sorrow here. That's also, I feel like, a missed opportunity. I could have sacked the Sarcomancy. I think I might just be a little on tilt after drawing, what, like 5 lands in a row? Alright, lots of guys getting through. I'll block one of the En-Kors. Still take 3. Drop to 7. The En-Kor still dies though. Right? Or no, it just moves the damage. That's right. There's a Negator. That can block. And still not swinging in with the Drowner of Sorrow, which can't block and is doing nothing there. I think I have just given up on this game, to be honest. We're down at 7. Alright, the Gator blocking the En-Kor. Yep, all that damage, not getting through. But the 1 point of damage the Negator takes, I'm gonna sack the Sarcomancy. And there's another Negator. This one's foil. And pass down to 5. Again, this whole time I could have been swinging in with the Drinker of Sorrow. I'm not sure why I wasn't. And Caustic's just steamrolling ahead. This is working for him. Might as well keep swinging it with little guys. I don't think I have much in the way of blockers. I think I'm just blocking everything now. Redirect all the damage. I gotta sack 2 things to the negators. I'll sack 2 of my mini lands. Windswept Heath. Caustic gonna crack it here. I guess I only blocked. Okay, so one guy still got through. Go to 4. And it's actually a bit surprising that Caustic hasn't drawn into a combo piece at this point. Because he's practically there. He has so much duplication. Is there another land? No, it's another gator. Gonna tap the negator. And say go. Again, I don't know why I'm not swinging in with these guys. I think I forgot how to play Magic. I don't know what to tell you folks. I feel like this would have been a much different game if I had just been a little more aggressive. And not gotten frustrated on the land draws, because I'm starting to draw into actual threats now. Like, he's just got a bunch of 1/1s and 1/2s. Oh wait, no, sorry. I know why I'm not doing it. I'm forgetting what I knew then, is that he can just make the blockers infinitely large, so it doesn't matter. Same thing with when I'm blocking. It's the same thing. I apologize to you guys for not remembering that attacking is futile. I have no way to win here. He's got me completely stalled out on combat. I don't have a good blocker that can effectively block all the little guys. And that Academy Rector I can't block, otherwise bad things will happen. Alright, we're just swinging with everything at this point. There's an unspeakable symbol, which means he can make lethal damage. Okay, well, that is definitely a way to draw into a win gone, I guess. That was a weird game 3. Sorry I forgot about the whole not even being able to attack. Like, why am I not swinging in? Oh, because it doesn't matter and I'd have to sack something anyways. Cool. Anyways, that is a super rad deck. Really cool to see it do its thing, especially in game 1, getting to see the infinite combo, and game 3, just getting to see how oppressive it is against creature combat. Thank you to everyone for watching. Congrats again to Caustic on taking it down and going into the top 4. I'm sure we'll see him again. And if you like the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. If you already have and you want to support the channel even more, there's a Patreon link in the video description below. That money goes towards gear upgrades, travel expenses, and just making more videos. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.